Back at it again with another live show today. Get back out here. It's been a minute because I went on a trip, man. I took my car across the country, right? Because I got a Tesla. I wanted to see how it would act if I went from Texas to California to see how it would be. And so did that. Got mixed reviews on that. But then I got back and my whole bottom floor of my house was flooded because there's a valve that just burst while we were away, and then so we got to deal with that. So I got back on like Monday. No, it was like Tuesday morning. Was it Monday morning or Tuesday morning? I think we got back Monday morning. But immediately have to deal with that, and then Tuesday was showtime, but still dealing with the water, so couldn't do a show. But we're back. We're back. Okay. So public service announcement for today is, the reasonable person standard gets a say. And we're going to get into that and what that means here during this show, but that is the public service announcement. Is the reasonable person standard gets a say. And the reasonable person standard is a real thing. It's admissible in court, right? It's a lot of times, especially your civil cases, they are being decided based upon the reasonable person standard. So it's a real thing, and it's a real thing in your relationship as well. We will talk about what that means here momentarily. Boom! First topic for tonight is, first of all, I want to let y'all know that this show is going to be a little bit shorter purposely because when I go and do things on the back end, the edit and all that other stuff, doing super long shows is really, really hard to edit and put stuff out from them. So we're going to make the shows a little bit shorter purposely, okay? But boom. First topic, too many women think they're being fumbled when in fact they're being punted. That might rub some people the wrong way, but that's what this show is about. All right? But you got to think about that. You got to think about that, man. When, if we're going to keep with the football analogy, when you think you're being fumbled, sometimes you're not, man. Sometimes you're being punted. And I think, man, it really goes into talking about this ability to reflect upon oneself, right, ladies? And that's not something that women do a whole lot of, right? Reflecting upon oneself. And people will, I'm sure, gonna be people that say, "Oh, you don't do it either." Okay, but we're not talking about me today. We're talking about you. So stick to the subject. Point is, being able to understand or see what other people's vision of you and yourself and how you are. I remember we had someone on the show that I asked, hey, so what is it about you that men would want? What do you offer or bring? And it's hard for them to answer that. You know what I mean? Because you got to consider that your degrees and, your ability to earn money and all that other stuff is cool, but it's not really what guys are looking for. So then what is it? What is it that you have or do or bring that is worth something to men, that is worth something to us, not worth something to you, right? That's worth something to us. And that might be hard to answer for a lot of ladies. And if you can't even answer that for yourself, but you think you're being fumbled, consider you're not being fumbled. Consider you are actually being punted, right? To the other team purposely so that they can have a chance. You know what I'm saying? And see how difficult it is to move the rock. As we say, we all sticking with the football analogies, right? So sometimes it can be very difficult to move the ball. But if you punt it to somebody else and give them a chance, maybe, good things happen for them. So just consider that. You're not always being fumbled. Sometimes you're being punted purposely. And it would be based upon, the fact that you don't necessarily offer what you think you offer. Or the things that you think you offer aren't worth as much as you think they are to another person, to a male, when we're talking about females. Understand what it is that we think is worth something before you decide you're being fumbled. Right? That's the thing. Think about that. A lot of women think that what makes them valuable, the stuff that they think that makes them valuable is not really what men think makes them valuable. And so what are you doing with that? You are sticking to your own idea of value in the face of the person you desire telling you that that's not valuable to them. You say, well, yes, it is. You know? And it's like, I don't know how successful you're going to be doing that. I don't know how successful you're going to be doing that. And again, you know, a lot of times I say these things, especially when we have guests on, and they say, well, what about you? Yeah, sure. Even if I were, you know, the opposite of what women want, and I didn't listen to women when they told me that, it doesn't change the fact that they're not what men want. Right? We're not talking about me today, we're talking about you. All right? You want to talk about me, get a show, and then get on your show and talk about me. Right now, we're sticking to the subject, and the subject is you. So just consider that. One more time. Sometimes you're not being fumbled, you're being punted. Okay. Next topic. There's a lady named Myra Gordon who was dating a man named Brian Young. I think it was, what's the Panthers quarterback? Is it Brian Young? He played for Alabama. Anyway, she was dating him, right? When he come out of college, that's his girl. You know what I'm saying? So shit, like when he make it to the top, he's in the NFL. You know, NFL starting quarterback. That's who's with him, Myra Gordon. And then he got benched, right? He didn't do so well in the NFL, which is the case. It's typical, man. You know, NFL is hard. Everybody in the NFL is good. It's not like college where you could be the best player on the field, and, you know, and everybody else is just you running circles around them. Like NFL is not like that, right? And that's why the games are so low scoring most of the time. So anyway, Brian Young did not do so well in the NFL, and he eventually got benched. Right? The Panthers sat him down. They started Andy Dalton, who, if anybody knows who Andy Dalton is not, you know, he's not going to the Super Bowl. He'll get you a couple wins. He'll make you not lose every game, but anyway, so they decided Andy Dalton was better than Brian Young. So Brian Young sat on the bench for a while. When he got on the bench, his girl, Myra Gordon, decided she'd seen enough. It was time to move on to greener pastures. And she ends up with, by coincidence, I'm sure, Tyrese Maxey, who happens to be in the NBA. Okay? She moved on from her NFL quarterback boyfriend to Tyrese Maxey, who plays in the NBA. And it's just one of those stories, man, where, you know, a lot of times people get on athletes' case because, you know, the girl that they come into the league with is not the girl that they stick with, right? When, you know, once they're successful, they get to, you know, they jump ship. But them girls do the same thing, Jack, because now she could do that, right? Before, nobody even knew who she was. She's not in that circle. Now she's in that circle, right? Because her boyfriend was an NFL quarterback. When she gets in that circle, she's about to get passed around. That's what they do. That's what they do, man. Get in that NFL, NBA, rapper, entertainer circle, and then they start to get passed around. Purposely. They're doing it on purpose. They want to get passed around because it makes it so that they only mess with a dude that's on a certain income level ever again. You know, I'm sure there's some ladies out there saying, what's wrong with that? I ain't say there was anything wrong with it. I'm just saying, you know, it's wild that as soon as he got benched, she moved on to, what's the name, Maxey. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I don't know, man. It's one of those things where, like Serena Williams, right? Serena Williams, like she said, that's why same girl has multiple famous baby. Exactly. Same girl has multiple famous baby dads, like your Dreas. And who's the homegirl that just had a baby by, well, she got a baby by Future and Bow Wow. And she just had a baby by somebody in the NBA. It's like, you know, some people will say she's playing the game right. Some people will say she looks crazy doing stuff like that. But, hey, my thing is, you know, what I was going to get at was Serena Williams obviously is married to someone who is Caucasian, right? And everybody's happy for her, right? Because the dude is a multi-millionaire, billionaire, whatever he is, super, super, super wealthy. So Serena Williams is married to this dude, and everybody's happy for her. But then you get an NBA player does something like that, and he's, you know, he don't love his mom, and he hates all black women. And it's like, how you going to be happy for Serena and then hate on my man's, you know what I'm saying, because he did the same thing. And I think this situation is the same, where a lot of athletes jump ship from the high school girlfriend to, you know, somebody famous when they get famous. But them girls are doing the same thing. They call it monkey bars. Just so if you wanted to know the science term for it. They do monkey bars from one relationship to the next. They grab on to the next branch. They hold on to this branch till they got a firm grip on the next branch, and then they swing on over there. So homegirl's monkey barring it right now. She started her journey. Allegedly, I'm going to say allegedly to keep it Ali. Allegedly, she started her journey on the monkey bars in the famous athlete arena. I just thought it was crazy, you know what I mean? It's just so how fast it happened, you know. Was it Bryce Young? I don't know the dude's name, man. Who was the Carolina Panthers quarterback? That's the dude I'm talking about. So it's just so crazy how fast it happened to him. He probably was like in the lowest point of his life. He just got benched, man. His dreams are falling apart. You know, there's no real hope of him ever, you know what I mean, getting it back. And she dipped. She was like, I've seen enough. I need to be with a winner. She said, this is a real serious New York vibe. Hey, you know what I'm saying? I'm just out here. Yankees in the World Series. Hey, shout out to the Yankees, too. Bring it home, baby. Bring it home. I need Jay-Z and Alicia Keys. Calling all cards on this one. You know what I'm saying? Y'all release Puff Daddy just for the World Series, man. We need everybody out, man. We need everybody out rooting on the Yankees. One time for the Yankees. So bring it home. Bring it home. It don't hurt that my super toxic ex is from LA too, so we really got to win this one, y'all. I don't want nothing good to happen to LA. And they overdue for an earthquake. I need LA, man. Anyway, so shout out to the Yankees. Anyway, boom, that happened. Okay, next topic. Ladies, you don't get a 20s. Okay, there's a common misconception out there that when you turn 20, right, you can go out and do all this crazy, super wild, ghetto, just debauchery. And then you can later on in life say, oh, but I was in my 20s. And then it just wipes it away. See what I'm saying? Like, oh, yeah, I did all that. You know what I'm saying? It was him and his cousin and all that. But I was like 20-something. Like, that don't wipe it away. I don't wash off, okay? You don't just get to wash that stuff off. Like, oh, yeah, but I took a couple showers and it's gone now. Like, no. No. What I'm speaking on is from a guy's perspective, from a dude's mind. If you tell me that you did all this wild out stuff and then you wash it off with, oh, but I was in my 20s, that doesn't work the way you think it does. The reason why I say that is because I've been told that, right? Where I'm like, but didn't you blah, 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 blah. Are you sitting here saying blah, 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 blah? Like, oh, yeah, well, you're going to sit here and talk about what I did in my 20s? Yeah. What? What do you mean? What do you mean? What do you mean when you say that to me? It doesn't count? Do you think it washes off? What are you saying? When you tell a man, oh, but I was in my 20s when it happened, what do you think you're saying? It's weird, the connotation that the phrase takes. Where you're saying it as a matter-of-factly, oh, you get it. No, I don't. I don't get it. I don't get it. You know what I mean? Like, I can't be like, oh, man, I used to, put stuff in girls' drinks and do stuff to them, but I was in my 20s. Like, now that I'm 40, it don't count, right? Like, what? What did you do? You know what I mean? Like, you would not be okay with that. So I don't know why y'all think we should be. She said, Chantel said, Drea said her whole face can be deleted. By who, though? That's my point. In Drea's mind, I'm positive she has deleted her whole face. All the things that she did, all the people that she was with, anything she might have contracted, right, has in Drea's mind been deleted. Doesn't count, okay? Because I'm better now. I'm different now. Don't count. But that doesn't mean I did that. I didn't delete anything, right? If Drea did anything that ended up in the news headlines, for example, okay, during her whole phase, and she has decided, but now it's deleted, I have not decided it's deleted. It's actually still on Google. So I don't know this deletion. Who does that apply to? Who does your whole face deletion apply to? Is it me too? I have to delete it? Because I don't. And I won't. I'm a rule breaker. Call me a rebel. I'm out here, baby. And I've decided I'm keeping your whole face. For every last one of you, I want you to know, I'm keeping your whole face. I'm holding your 20s against you. You don't get a pass. Okay? You can hold my 20s against me too. You can. You know what I mean? But I'm holding on to it. It is not gone. It does count. All of it. All of it. And it counts for Christ as well. You little sinners. So there. If Jesus ain't forgetting it, I ain't forgetting it neither. So just remember that, ladies, and tell your daughters, man. Tell your daughters. You don't get a 20s. You don't get it, oh, that happened when I was in college. It don't matter. It don't matter. It still counts. Still counts. Every bit is, if you did it today, all right, in your 30s and your 40s, it still counts. And that's true for like every man. I don't know where y'all got this idea from that you can just delete it. Unless you're going to take it to the grave. Nobody knows about it. Nobody ever will know about it. Okay. You know? Sure. But y'all even do it for stuff we know about. Stories you told me. You told me. Like, yeah, but that was my 20s. Okay. What? What are you talking? Don't even say that phrase ever again to anyone. Because it doesn't hit like you think it's hitting. You know what I'm saying? Nah, that was in my 20s, though. Yeah. She said, only if it counts for men, then it counts for us. I can tell you, sure, you can go with whatever justification you want for yourself, for your own mind, like Drea did. Drea said her whole face is deleted. You can. And if, like you say, if it counts for men, then it counts for you, sure. I'll just say that if it is not an event that only you know about, then it counts. Right? It counts for your friends. Like your female friends, it counts. They remember, they were there, it will hold it against you. You know what I'm saying? Your female friends will. So I don't know why men are not allowed to do that. I don't get that. I don't understand that. Yeah, what if a woman ran a train on a dude? How would you even do that? What does that mean? What does that even mean? What does that mean? Explain that to me. So this is Michelle asking this, by the way, just to capture for the record, so we get it on the record for the stenographer. This is Michelle asking, what if a woman ran a train on a dude? And I just feel like if any woman would ask a question like that, it would be Michelle, who's always telling people to S or D. She wants to know what happened. How do you run a train on a dude? So a bunch of girls and one dude? I guess. I don't understand what that means, though. Like, so what if that happened? And the reason why I say so what is if you're asking me, what if a bunch of girls did something with a dude and he's carrying around that information and say other people knew about it, right? It got out somehow. That's only beneficial to him. Like, well, sure, but to me, would I hold that against the girl if she was one of many women that ran a train on a dude? I definitely would. Because what's wrong with you? What's going on with your self-esteem? You know what I mean? Why would you do that? Why would you do that? Or like, unless she didn't know that's what was happening. Like she was first. Like if she went first and she didn't know there was people was lining up to be next. Okay, there's nothing she could do about that. You know, I'm just a regular human being doing human being stuff. They're wilding. But if you're like third or fifth, what are you doing? Is that the only dude there was? What are you doing? Did you grow up on an island with only one dude? I don't understand the motivation for a woman to do that, so yes, I'm holding that against her. It's at the minimum, it's weird. At the maximum, you got some real issues that are below the surface that need to be dealt with. Just because why would you do that? Why would you do that? I don't understand the motivation for a woman to do that. I understand the motivation for a man to do that. Because for men, it's hard. You can't just not choose her and get with somebody else. That's not how that works. Most men spend every day of their life not having a single woman pay any mind to them at all. Most of their days are spent with no woman paying them any mind at all. Okay? Not giving them the time of day. If they ask the woman the time, she's going to say, I have a boyfriend. So if that is your reality and you run into somebody who's, doesn't care who it is, they're welcome to, use her for whatever their devices are, then there's motivation there. Because you don't know when the next one's coming. You're going to spend the next however many days not even being allowed to ask what time it is. Right? So boom, something comes along like that, you got to take it. Break the famine. But women are not like that. Women y'all could be having sex right now. If you wanted to. If you really wanted to, you could right now. The only thing stopping you is your own moral compass. That's every single one of y'all that are in this chat. Okay? Your own moral compass is the only thing stopping you from having sex right now. That's not true for men. That is not true for men. Okay? So, that's why men would do something like that. I don't know why a woman would. She said, let me go back. She said Chantel says that's a double standard. Yeah, it might be, but for good reason that I just explained. Michelle said, how is it weird? It's weird because if you're the third girl in a train on a dude, where is your self-esteem? Why would you not find your own dude? Women don't even really do that. Like, if I ever talk to you in a way that was not just friends, none of your friends could ever speak to me again. Like, that's y'all's rule. That ain't my rule. That's y'all's rule. If you ever talk to me and we were talking, none of your friends could ever look at me or speak to me ever again in life. I am forever yours as far as they're concerned. So then, but you're running a train on a dude? So something's wrong with you. That's a red flag. That means something has gone awry. The train is off the rails at that point. So then, yes, that is weird. Sarah says, it's the same as if you slept with one woman every day, if you think about it. What is the same? I'm not sure what you mean by that. What is the same as if I slept with one woman every day, if I think about it? I'm not sure what you mean by that. So she's calling Cap. All these uglies that be cheating on their wives. Do you know what's the crazy thing about that? Dudes that are ugly, that cheat, it's because of y'all, man. It's because of women. It's y'all's fault. And this is why I blame y'all. It's because I don't know what it is, but I've experienced it myself. Where I can go out to the same places I go every day, right? Work, home, my local gas station, my Dollar General. I go to the same places every day, never be spoken to by a female any of those days. The minute I have a girlfriend, everywhere I go, there's another female that wants to talk to me. It's like y'all can smell it. It's like our pheromones get different when we get in a relationship, and it attracts y'all too. You know what I mean? Where you never was attracted, now all of a sudden you are. And so that, I think it's true for ugly dudes too. Right? You know what I mean? As soon as they get in a relationship, their pheromones change. Y'all react to the new pheromones, and now all of a sudden, where they never had no options, now they have a bunch of options because they're in a relationship. It's just how it is. So sometimes they exercise those options, man, right or wrong. That's what it is. So, but that's what it is. I mean, these dudes that's ugly ain't smashing every day in a normal circumstance. It's just when they get in a relationship, man, I don't know what it is. Michelle says she's adding running a train to her bucket list on a dude. And if anybody would, I want to reiterate, if anybody would add something like that to their bucket list, it would be Michelle. Captain S. My D herself. How is your boy getting play? He's single. My boy. Who are we talking about? Chantel said, no, we won't be adding running a train on a dude to our bucket list. Chantel says, ugly dudes take it to the head and then think they're all that. That is fair. That is true. But you got to consider, man, like, you spend your whole life being ugly, not paid attention to, discarded, ignored, made fun of, laughed at. You are a social pariah. Spend your whole life that way, and then suddenly you're the toast of the town, right? Just because you're in a relationship. Everybody thinks you're all that out of nowhere. You are going to take that to the head. You're going to enjoy it while you can. You're never going to get it again. You're never going to get it again. You got, some dudes are like, I got you. I'm sorry. I don't want to be this way. But I'm never going to get this again. That's when girls that are out of your league even want to talk to you. Like, girls that would never in a million years talk to you any other time. And now all of a sudden, because you're in a relationship, now they want to. I'm telling you, man. So some dudes can't resist that kind of temptation, man. You got to think about it. This dude who never got no attention ever is all of a sudden the toast of the town to a girl that's clearly out of his league. And you can want him to say no because of you. What do you have? What is he saying no for? Consider that. When I'm telling y'all, when y'all got to do your self-assessment, you have to consider that's what's going on. This girl is out of his league. And you want him to say no to her. No, I'm with such and such. Why would he do that? What do you offer that would make him do that? Because that's what's happening out there. That is what's happening. That is the reality. Boom. Sarah says, a different woman every other day that the first woman introduced you to is almost the same as running a train on a man. Yeah, but that doesn't really happen either. I mean, because the girls that you're smashing when you're in a relationship are not like your girlfriend's friends. It's like some random. I'm telling you, it's pheromones, man. You walk into a Dollar General, and all of a sudden this girl was just shopping a minute ago. Now she needs your help to get something off the shelf or something. You know what I mean? Or something weird. She needs to know what calories means. And now you're off and talking. It's weird, but it don't be her friends. That's not. So no, I don't think it would count as a train because it's not her and her friends. I think it's like some random strangers. What's the name? She said, I'm not name dropping. What you talking about? Name dropping? Oh, she talking about whoever my boy is. I don't know who you were talking about like that, so maybe give me a hint. You know what I'm saying? Me and Chris, you talking about my brother? Just does say you should be humbled if you're used to being ugly all the time and then all of a sudden you get attention. You should be humbled. That's not how that works. You take advantage. You take advantage. You're not gonna be humble at all. And it's sad, man, because the funny thing is you, as an ugly dude getting attention all of a sudden, you mess up your relationship, and then that essentially shuts you down because now your sperm switch back to regular. And now all that attention goes away. You're back to being ugly. So you're really sabotaging yourself, but you know what I mean? That's the game. I bet you and Chris are literally the same person. If you think me and my brother are the same person, we are polar opposites. Tell you, man, me and Chris spend a lot of time offline arguing. Because we are not the same person. Yeah, he thinks I should be different than I am. But I'm taking some of his advice. So I am not one of these people who, cannot do a self-assessment inventory and come out and think, okay, there is some stuff that you need to do better, do different. Like a lot of this that you see here, obviously, if you ever watched the show before, it wasn't like this. So a lot of this is a result of Chris, beating into my head, I need to be different, do different. So anyway, I can do a self-assessment and say, maybe you could be a little bit better in certain areas. Boom! Real quick, she said I started exfoliating. Let me tell you something. This God-given right here. I did a lot of stuff, but these is God-given right here, baby. You know what I'm saying? You know how I get skin like this? Is you gotta wash your face with the same rag you wash your butt with. I'm just playing. I said that somewhere else, man. The girl got so mad, yo. She got. So I was just joking, man. It's funny though. That is hilarious. Anyway, so I can do a self-assessment and take a round check and stuff. But Chris is that dude, man. We're opposites, and so it's good to talk to him though, because we are so opposite. Because I will always just assume that what I think is right, like everybody. And then it's hearing a different perspective that might make some sense is always good. So seek those people out. And I don't have to agree with him initially to later on think about the argument and be, okay, maybe there's some truth to some of that. So boom. She said, you've always had clear skin. I'm disgusted. Hey, you know what I mean? It's the power of Christ. Sarah says, I know he didn't tell you to wear your hat like that. Where is Mitch? They did tell me where my hat like this. This is how T.I. wears it, y'all. Remember back when T.I. was cool? I used to do this. Y'all used to like it. Me and T.I. the same age, so boom. She said, where's Sydney? We need him on the line. Let me tell you something. Sydney's too cool, man. He'll get on here and just cool me out. Like, out cool me to the degree that it's like, you know, it's his show now, and I'm just a producer. I'll just feed him topics where he can just talk. Can't have too much cool on the show, man. I literally be telling my guy, like, yo, you gotta talk to your Uncle Sydney about that, because he knows that, you know, style and coolness and how to do that. He knows it way better than I do. I'm still learning. So, yeah, we keep Sydney out at bay. Like, he's like one of them, what's the name? The dragons on House of Dragons that you just don't even know about. He's like the biggest one, but you don't even know. Not Sydney. We just keep him in the back. What's the name? Sarah says, I don't know if you noticed, but you're not TIP. I mean, I'm something like it. I keep my teeth clean. You know what I'm saying? Something like it. Oh, I'm probably a little bit like if T.I. and Charleston White had a baby. Little Woody or something. Maybe something like that. Charleston White is a lot older than me, man. He does it, so y'all leave me alone. Unless you're gonna talk about him, don't talk about me. So anyway, that is the deal, ladies. We've got way off topic, but you don't get a 20s, just so you are aware. Boom. This is a good one, y'all. This is something y'all need to know, ladies. Men do not work off the same tier system when it comes to looks that women work off of. So what does that mean? So women have a definite rank system, right? Where this dude is clearly better looking than that dude, and that dude's clearly, and it's like all the way down, right? All the way down the list. So you could be number, 2 billion as far as looks are concerned, right? Like my man Welvin the Great is somewhere in there, you know what I mean? On somebody's list, he's somewhere in there, but it's a definite tier system, okay? I don't think men work like that. Not really. I mean, to some degree, but not like women do. And so, well, how does that apply to our everyday life? How can we apply that information? Because y'all look at stuff like, a dude would cheat on his girl with a girl that probably don't look as good as his own girl. And you're wondering, why the hell would he do something like that? And it's because y'all don't understand how we see y'all, how we look at y'all and make an assessment about looks alone. We're just talking about looks. We're not talking about what you bring to the table. Just looks. Different women, for men, scratch different itches. Different women scratch different itches. And so you may be gorgeous in the face. Your face is gorgeous objectively. Anybody that sees you, I don't care what their nationality is, you're automatic 8. And 9 or 10 depending on, the person, but definite 8. But maybe your body isn't, maybe your shape isn't very shapely. Right? You're fit, you're in shape, you're skinny, you work out a lot, you purposely are slim because you want to be. So you think to yourself, that's what makes you look good. Cool. There's another lady who face is nowhere near on your level. Nowhere near on your level. But she's very shapely. Okay? It just so happens that all of her fat cells went 2 places. Okay? All the fat cells in her body only went to 2 places. And it just so happens to be the 2 places that attract men. But her face ain't nowhere near you. Right? And it's objective. She, to a man, could be just as attractive, though. As far as when they say, okay, which one would you choose? Oh, let me think. Wait. You know what I'm saying? Because y'all are scratching 2 different itches. Do you see what I'm saying? Another thing that can put you on the same tier is your nationality, believe it or not. Some dudes got a thing for Asians. I don't know if you knew that, but that's the thing. Asians feel this. Asian women feel this, where they know that certain men are only getting with them because they're Asian, not because they like their personality, not because they want to be with them forever, not because nothing other than they're Asian. and they got a thing for Asians. So someone who's Asian that maybe, aesthetically, objectively doesn't look as good as another woman of another nationality will be on the same tier to a man who has a thing for Asians. She's gorgeous. She's Miss Cuba. If she's just Asian, they will be on the same tier because he's got a thing for Asians. Okay? And so when you're looking or assessing women, it's kind of bad news, actually, if you think about it, because now you got to worry about more women. You don't have to worry about just the women that are on a par with you in your face. You got to worry about people that have bigger titties, bigger butt, thicker thighs, Asians, whites, Puerto Ricans are a big deal out there in the streets. I don't know if y'all knew that. Mexican, all types of stuff, man. Stuff that people barely ever see just because they barely ever see it. Laotians. There's a place in the world called Laos, Laos, and in Laos there are Laotians, and there are Laotian women. They exist. They exist. And it may not even be the dude has anything about Asians, but maybe he's just never seen anyone from Laos before. And so this is an opportunity to do something that nobody else did. Feather in the cap type stuff. And so that's the thing that y'all are not seeing, right? That's what women are not seeing. And also it makes it so that when he chooses you, y'all are so worried about your face, I don't even know why I'm not so pretty, and I got this and that, and you putting eyelashes on, all this makeup and eyebrows and all of this stuff to your face, and you don't even realize that's not the itch you're scratching. That is not the itch you're scratching. So doing all of that to yourself doesn't help you. Doesn't make you more attractive to him. Whatever it is, whatever itch you're scratching makes you more attractive. You could just be light skin with light eyes. Huh? Somebody talk to me now. Help me out. And that's the itch you're scratching. And so doing all of this extra stuff to yourself ain't making you more attractive, because you're not going to be more light skinned with more light eyes. You just are who you are. You could be really tall. Somebody help me. Somebody help me preach. You could just be really tall. And especially to short dudes. Especially the short dudes, because they're supposed to stand no chance with you. So if they do that, if they pull that off, you can't tell them nothing. You're going to be the highest, tightest, dope numero uno to them. And so doing stuff to your face when you're already tall don't help you. You're already tall. You were one already. And you're not going to be more pretty because you did stuff to your face. You're already tall, and that's what it is. That's the itch that you're scratching. You already have a big chest. You already have a big butt. You know what I mean? So understand that. That's why, y'all have this idea, men just go for anything. It's not really true. That's not really true. But we have itches, and different women scratching. And so that's another thing when you feel like men are never satisfied with what they have. Because the girl she's scratching a different itch. You know what I'm saying? A dude could be into Puerto Ricans and Asians. That could happen. And be into them a lot to where they're equal. And maybe other nationalities, races are not equal. But those two, he's done. You know what I mean? That could happen. So that's the thing. I don't think it's been like anything and everything. I think we just have certain itches that need to get scratched. And different women do that for them. Sarah says, it'd be temporarily worth it with short men. Yeah. Different men like different things to varying degrees. That's another thing. So that's the thing that you hear a lot of Asian women complain about. Because when they are, just the flavor of the month because of their nationality, it wears off. It's like, okay, I did what I wanted to do with you. It wasn't anything about your personality that I necessarily liked. It wasn't anything about what you brought to the table that I cared about. You were just Asian. And so once I've done what I wanted to do, the novelty wears off. And now you just have whatever you are. And that may not be enough. And so they complain because dudes come to them under the pretense that it's not just because you're Asian, it's because it's you. And then come to find out she was just Asian. So That happens. That is a true thing. They have a right to complain because that is valid. That happens. Again, I'm pretty sure really tall women experience the same thing where you thought it was something, but really it was because you were tall. And then is what it is. Light skinned women with light eyes, probably the same thing. I don't know. The applehead light skinned girls look like Gina from Martin. That's what I call them, the applehead light skinned girls. That's the thing, man. People are into that. So be aware of that, ladies, that you are fine the way that you are because you are going to scratch this itch for someone. Just because you don't scratch it for everyone doesn't mean you don't scratch it for someone. You just got to match based on that. But you don't have to do a whole bunch of stuff trying to make yourself pretty. You're already pretty to someone, for certain. And your quirks are actually what makes you pretty. So a lot of times, like what's her name, like Meg Thee Stallion, we'll talk about her self-consciousness with her height. Because I think Meg Thee Stallion's like 5'8". I don't know if y'all knew that. Rihanna's like 5'6". Did y'all know that? Rihanna is really big. That's a big girl. They get self-conscious about their height, but that's the quirk is what makes you pretty. You know what I mean? The one thing you're being self-conscious about is actually the thing that's scratching the itch for the dude that you're supposed to be with. What's going on, Cherish? Cherish in the house. Cherish is Hawaiian, huh? That's something, you know what I mean? That's exactly what I'm talking about. What's his name? She said Meg Thee Stallion is 5'10". I mean, I'm 6'2". That is a big girl. But that's the thing. That's people's thing. Good. They like the fact that she's big. The guy that's for Meg is going to like that. She said, that's average for 5'6". Sure. I think she might be taller than that. I made the number up because that sounds tall to me, but I think somebody look up for me. Let's get the producers. Can we get the producers out here? How tall is Rihanna? Let's get that number if we could. Take a second here. Let the producers look that up. We're looking for Rihanna's height. How tall? And you're just gonna ignore me. Is Rihanna? Rihanna's 5'8". I got 5'8". Michelle says 5'7". She's in that neighborhood. Still a tall girl. That's a tall girl. So if she's 5'8", I mean, how many of y'all are 5'8"? Sarah, how tall are you? I know how tall Sarah is when I see her with my eyeballs. So I'm going to compare Rihanna's height in my mind to Sarah's height and see how tall she is. What's going on, Uwe? Uwe made it, yay! We're talking about how different women scratch men's itches, right? Oh, okay, so Sarah's 5'10", Rihanna's 5'8". Okay, so yeah, that's a tall girl, man. You know what I mean? I thought Rihanna was like 5'2". I ain't gonna lie. This whole time, I was thinking Rihanna was 5'2". Turns out she's 5'8". That's a big girl. So anyway, but the point is, A$AP Rocky, I don't think A$AP Rocky is 5'8". Let's look at that. How tall is A$AP Rocky? How... Producers, can we get... Can we get the height of A$AP Rocky? Okay, A$AP Rocky's 5'10". So he's 2 inches taller than her. Yeah, and same height as Sarah. So man, for the dudes that are into tall women, that's dope. You know what I'm saying? Like that's everything. That's everything. She don't gotta be nothing else. She don't gotta have boobs, butt, nothing. She's 5'10". Money. What are you doing after this? That's the thing. Keep that in mind, ladies, when you're talking, being self-conscious about this or that. It is your quirk that makes you attractive to the right dude. To the right dude. You don't have to do nothing different. Be different. That's why a lot of dudes tell y'all, you don't gotta wear makeup. What are you wearing makeup for? You're tall. You already won. Or what are you wearing makeup for? You got big breasts. What's the makeup doing for that? It ain't enhancing it. So you might as well not put it on. Because the thing that makes you, as bad as you are, your breasts, or whatever it is, you're already Asian. What are you putting makeup on for? You're already Asian. You won. Candy says because we like makeup. Yeah, y'all say that. We ain't doing it for you. We doing it for us. We're doing it for us. Okay. But then it doesn't make sense that you're doing it for yourself, but you're also being self-conscious about it. Because it's like, are you trying to convince yourself that you're better looking with makeup? Because why would you need to convince yourself? What's the name? Michelle said, Alex tells me I don't need makeup. I look good because I don't know how to apply it. That's not nice. You tell Alex, I said, cut it out. Where's your devil's advocate? I want to argue. Not Mitch. I tried to get a devil's advocate. Nobody wanted to come on the show, so I'm freestyling right now. I think I'm doing a bang-up job. I got to be honest with you. Makeup enhances beauty. To who? That's the problem, Cherish. It doesn't enhance it to us. Right? If I like you, say the reason why I'm attracted to you is because you're Hawaiian. And that's just a thing for me. It's women from Hawaii. Your makeup doesn't make you more Hawaiian. So therefore it doesn't make you more attractive to me. You see what I'm saying? Uh-oh. Here we go, y'all. We got a volunteer. Let's see what happens. Let's see if she's able to join. I'm like, good. I don't know how. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. So we had to go back and edit Michelle's comment. She says, Alex says she looks good without makeup, and she says to him, good, because I don't know how to apply it. But again, the whole point of that is to say that whatever it is that Alex was attracted to about you is not being enhanced by your makeup. That's how men operate. It ain't, a tier system. It's, you are Asian and I'm into Asians. Or you are tall and I'm into tall girls. Or you are, 200-something pounds and I like big girls. It's and your makeup doesn't make you more of that. It's just how you are. Your quirk is what makes you attractive. So don't be ashamed of your quirk. Do not be self-conscious about your quirk. Be proud of it because it's what is making you attractive. I'm going to send you an invite, Cherish. See if you can accept the invite and come in. Pig juice. Yeah, that's my boy Piggy, man. Ow!
Hey.
That's what I'm saying, man. So do you understand what I'm saying? Does what I'm saying make sense to you?
Yeah, sure. Not really. Because makeup enhances beauty. Some people do it too much, though.
Who does it? That's what I don't understand. Is y'all women have this tendency to come with me on this. Women have this tendency to tell us what we like. Like, how are you going to tell me it enhances beauty to me? Because I'm telling you it doesn't. You know what I mean?
Yes, it does.
And so if I'm saying it doesn't, then who are we saying it enhances beauty to? To yourself? Yeah, but I guess that's why I'm doing this segment, is to understand, at least from a guy's perspective. Sure, do whatever you want that makes you feel better about you. From a guy's perspective, if I'm into you because you're Hawaiian, your makeup doesn't make you more Hawaiian to me. You know what I mean? And so you're not going to be
these dark circles.
So say it was a cultural thing that Hawaiians have dark circles. Just say it is. I'm not saying it is, but just say it is. The fact that you're covering it up is going to make you less attractive to me because I want someone who's Hawaiian. Hawaiians have dark circles, and you're covering up the thing that makes you attractive to me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So say, for instance, somebody were tall, and they did everything in their power to look more short because they were self-conscious about it. But the whole point of me liking you is because you're tall. Then you're making yourself less attractive to me because you're self-conscious about it. You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
It just, I don't know why women do that, and I think y'all think we're lying when we say you don't need makeup. Well, we're not. We're saying whatever it is say is big boobs. You know what I mean? It could be just that simple. If I'm just into really big boobs and you have them, your makeup doesn't help you there. You know what I'm saying? So when I'm saying you don't have to wear makeup because you're not going to be more attractive to me with it, I'm being for real. Because your boobs are already big. You already won. You know what I'm saying? What's the name?
Like Hawaiians?
I said, he said, old lady said, so be like Hawaiians. I was using that as an example, but yes. Hey, look, man, Cherish is, you know what I'm saying? She's everything to me. She's lucky she lives so far away. Oh, you know what I gotta do? I gotta do something real quick. Because Uwe, are you still in here? I'm going to publicly apologize to Uwe. The reason why I'm going to do that is because that's what men do. And I apologize to Uwe privately. But I had said a lot of things publicly, so I need to apologize publicly. Okay. So last show we was on here, and she had a few drinks, and so I was kind of like teasing her because I thought a lot of stuff that she was saying, she was like rambling on, and I thought it was a product of the alcohol. So I was like, yeah, you've had probably one too many, and so none of that made sense. But that's not true. When I went back and looked at the show, I misunderstood what she was saying. That's what happened. So because I misunderstood her, I assumed it was gibberish and it didn't make sense. At one point, I thought she said one thing and then immediately contradicted it. And I was like, what are we doing, right? But I thought all of it was a product of the alcohol, and I was very vocal about that. And turns out I was wrong because I misunderstood what she was saying. And I understood it when I listened to the show. So apologize to Uwe publicly. That's what we do. Boom!
So
I'm glad you're here.
So
How would you say?
You.
Oh, I did the, I'll do one good thing. That's what's today. It's October. So we waited till October, but we did it. So
Took you forever.
Let me look. I'm glad you're here because we're gonna go to the next thing. The next thing is, oh wait, I gotta go to my gallery. Gotta go to my gallery because that's where the questions are. We did ladies don't get twins. We did the tier system. Oh, reasonable person standard. This is so important. This is so important for relationships because this is this communication piece that we're always talking about. And you gotta tell me if you agree with this. It is my belief that in a relationship, you have what you think, you have what I think, and then there's another vote, and that is the reasonable person standard. Okay? If I'm not involved in this relationship, I'm just Joe Schmo off the streets, what would I think? I don't have a skin in the game. I don't care. Either way, it's equal to me. What would I think? That vote matters in a relationship, even though that person is not in the relationship. The reason why is because our votes are equal, right? I don't have a better opinion than you do. You don't have a better opinion than I do because they're opinions, right? There's nothing, unless there's some facts back in this stuff, all right? Some things are true and some things are not true. Mm-hmm. When it's just strictly opinion, they're equal. But there's also what a reasonable person would think that seems to be able to break that tie 9 times out of 10 if people would just listen to it. And I think the problem is a lot of times women don't listen to the reasonable person standard. It does not matter to them that to most people this is permissible and that is not. Doesn't matter because I said it is permissible and that's all that matters. My vote. And I just think that if it is the case that on a reasonable person standard, you're wrong, then you're wrong. And you're wrong. You got to accept it. You got to accept it, okay? And it helps the relationship move forward. Now we can say, okay, we did a thing, and we're not going to do that thing anymore, and we're going to move forward. But you can't do that when you're so stuck on, my opinion is the only one that matters. All right? Cannot do that. Okay, so what do you think about that? What do you think about that from a woman's perspective? Maybe
it's like you're saying that there's somebody else in our relationship. Yeah, you said Joe Smo, but no.
Okay, I'll give an example because it does sound like that if I don't give an example. So I'll give an example. Okay, so say you want to go to the club with your friends. I'm not going. This is girls' night. Okay, I'm not going. You're going. On your girls' night, you want to dance. You want to dance with other dudes, and the way you happen to dance is to rub your backside on his penis as much as you can. As much as you can. That's the way you have fun. I'm not saying you. I'm not saying you. I'm saying the royal you, as in some woman somewhere, hypothetically. Some woman somewhere believes that that's the way she has fun. That's the way he met her, right? Maybe that's how they met. There's nothing wrong with it. As sexual as it might be, it's just dancing at the end of the day. Blah, 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 blah. That is her opinion. His opinion is obviously opposite. His opinion is, no, that's not just dancing. We're together now. I don't care how I met you. That's not permissible in a relationship. Blah, 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 blah. These opinions are equal. There's no tiebreaker here. She said no. She said yes. He said no. So who's right? This is where the reasonable person standard comes in. Is any man on planet Earth going to permit behavior like that in their relationship? Probably some, not a lot. And we can say that as adults, knowing the truth. Probably not a lot of dudes are going to go for behavior like that. Therefore, the reasonable person standard is she was wrong, and so she needs to accept that. Okay? And we can move on. We can say, all right, fair. Most dudes probably wouldn't. And we can move on to the next thing. But the problem is she's not going to back down. I don't care if no man would accept what I did. I said it was right, therefore it is right, and you can go somewhere with your opinion. And that's where we're going to, okay, so where this could have been simple, we're going to escalate it, and now I'm going to do what I do. Now you got a payback coming.
Give me a different scenario because I'm with you with that. Like, I agree. Like, if we were together, I should not be out dancing on another man like that.
Yeah, but you can just, apply it to whatever. Take your own scenario where you've been in a situation where you thought it was, right and he thought it was wrong. Just apply it there. What would the reasonable person standard say? And then that's what would have made that determination. And you can, 9 times out of 10, you can make that assessment as an adult, on your own and know that what I did was probably not okay. And you can even make that assessment based on if he had done it to you. What if he had done that? Would you come home and been cool? No, of course, no. Exactly. You see what I'm saying? So it's sort of like, to me, that happens a lot, man, where women are not fair with their assessments of the situation. It's cool when they do it. It's not cool if you do it. Because I'm big on that.
Men do it. Don't
so here's my thing.
On women.
Yeah, but we're not talking about men right now.
Now we're not talking about men.
That's blame shifting.
No.
What's the name? Sarah said maybe it's men misinterpreting the reasonable person standard. It could be, but again, most times you can make a fair assessment on what the reasonable person standard is. And I'll tell you, this is not something I'm making up. When you go to court for civil actions, meaning you're suing somebody, right? Or child custody is another civil action. The reasonable person standard is the standard. That is what the judge is going by. If, I left the baby in the house for 2 hours, but I had to because I had to go to work. By a reasonable person standard, was that the right thing to do or was it not? That is what the judge is making the assessment on. Sure, you think it was right. Someone else thinks it's wrong. The father thinks it's wrong. What does the reasonable person standard say? That is the legal standard, okay? So it's not just something I'm making up this is real. It will apply, okay? So if you're married, it will apply if you're divorced. So, but why won't you just do your whole relationship that way? Why wait for court? Do it right now. Because you can know right now that you shouldn't have did that. Most times. Girls trips. Sure, you can tell him whatever you want to tell him is going to happen on this girl trip. Oh, we're going to go to Jamaica. We're going to have some catered food. We're going to go eat some strawberries, and we're just going to sit around the house. You tell him that, but the reality is these dudes come to the house, and they're dripping honey in your mouth and kissing it off you, and sure, you're eating catered food and sitting in the house, but you know what you're doing, right? And so now he know about it, and he mad. He's like, all we did exactly what I said we was going to do. How am I lying? Reasonable person standard, what you do is foul. Come on, man. Let's not pretend, because the pretending is what's pissing him off. If you just owned it, it was like, yo, all right, you're free, I'm sorry. Maybe things would go a little different. He'd probably still be mad, but he could get over it. But when you're insulting his intelligence on top of it, what? What's lying about it? Well, all we did was exactly what I said we're going to do. Right. Now you're making me feel like I need to do something. You know what I'm saying? She said, B, what does Sally want to say? So, yeah, go ahead. Go for it. I'm talking a lot. I'm sorry. I want to hear what you have to say about this.
What do I want to say about the trip?
What I want to say, what do you want to say about the reasonable person standard? Like, do you feel like there's something there, or you feel like this is way off and I'm just making crap
I feel
up?
like you should invite somebody else into your relationship.
You say you feel like we should?
Shouldn't.
No, so you're not really asking another person. You're considering what a disinterested third party would think. Just like in court, they're not going to have another person come in there, but they're considering someone who's not in the relationship and disinterested is not on one person's side or the other. What would they think? And that's the consideration, not the reality. You're not literally doing that. So do you think that's something you could do in most situations and come up with what's right or wrong?
I would just sit there and think, like, would I be okay with you doing this before I...
That's a good way to do it. You know what happens there, though? I will say that is a good way to do it. I think that's the best way to do it. But a lot of women lie to themselves. They justify their act. Yeah, all you can do is go to the house and sit down and eat catered food. Why would I get mad about that? Knowing that's not what happened. They lie. They lie to themselves. Maybe all you did was what you said.
Well, if I go to Jamaica with the girls, yeah, that's my plan, to sit at the house. Of course we're going to drink. Of course we're going to do stuff. Of course they got hot men doing this. That's why we're going.
So if he did that to you, though, you would be good with that?
No, I wouldn't. No, I wouldn't. No, I would still go and let him go too, but it's like to a certain extent. Don't have these females eating off of you or you eating off of them.
You did it.
Sure, everybody else is doing it, but why are you doing it?
You did.
I'm not.
It.
No, I didn't.
What we're saying, okay, the scenario here is that you went on the girls trip. You told him you were going to the house, you're going to eat catered food, y'all going to just chill out. Turns out, yes, you did go to the house, you did eat catered food, but these dudes are like a specialty company that come through, built like, whatever. They take their shirts off, they're rubbing their bodies with oil all over you, and then they're pouring honey in your mouth and kissing it off.
But I'm not allowing them to get on me.
Yeah, but that's not the scenario. Sure, maybe you wouldn't, but again, we're not talking about you personal. We're talking about you royal, the royal you, which is every female. So you got to consider everyone, and some of them definitely would.
I consider female because I'm not every female.
Well, you have to, because that's the role you're playing in this scenario. That's why you're on the show. You have to speak for everybody.
Well, I'm a horrible person.
What's going on, Bonnie Love? So I just feel like you're dancing around the answer. But I think you have the right answer in the sense that this, making a decision on how you would have felt if he had done it to you is the best way to get to the reasonable person standard. And when you can be fair about that and actually make a real assessment on how you really would have felt had he done it to you, then 9 times out of 10 you'll come out on the right side of whether or not you should apologize for what you did, or maybe concede a few points, like, oh, maybe he's got a point here or there, or maybe I don't agree with everything. You could do that, but I just feel like there's a lot of not making that fair assessment. Saying, I wouldn't care if you had your junk on a girl's butt. What do I care? Like, knowing you don't even like it when I look at another female, let alone be out there dancing with my junk on her butt. But you could do it when you go with your girls. You know what I mean? That's the type of unfair assessments that get made all the time and cause a lot of problems in relationships unnecessarily. What are we doing that for? You know. I don't have to tell you. You already know. So anyway, there. The reasonable person standard gets a vote. It's true in court, so we can say it's not true here, but it is. Boom, boom, boom. What's the next name? Women are not unaware of the friend that wants to fuck. Okay? Y'all do this thing, man. The dude is being ultra obvious about what his intentions are, and you dumb out. This is cool when you're single. You can do that. You can dumb out and accept his gifts and all this other stuff, accept dinners, accept dates, and just pretend that, oh, he said we just friends, so that's what we are. But when you're in a relationship with somebody else and you're telling that person that you're in a relationship with, that this is my friend and that's all he is. And this dude is being super obvious about his intentions, and you're dumbing out. Oh, wait, he's my friend. He's my friend. He buys roses for everybody. Don't play with me. Don't play with me. Y'all know, bruh. You know, okay? And if you don't know, you should. And so if you don't, if you're not making a fair assessment of what's going on, you're asking for trouble in your relationship. But you're saying women don't know?
We don't.
All right, Pig, I'll see you, bro. How is it possible that you don't know? Now, let me set up a scenario for you, because this is the type of thing I'm talking about. This dude is, when he meets you, he meets you out and he just begins a conversation with you, talking to you like somebody would talk to you if they were trying to be with you. That's why he's talking to you, okay? You make it be known that maybe you're not interested, you're already in a relationship, whatever the case. He said, oh, that's cool. We can just be cool. But you already know at this point that his original intention was to be with you. That's already been established. He wasn't hiding that, okay? So right there, to tell me you didn't know is a lie. You did, because he was clear. So unless you're not a human being and don't understand English, you're lying. You did know. Boom. But okay, y'all decided y'all gonna be friends. Here are things that you do with your female friends, right? Because they're friends. There are things you do with your brother, because y'all are siblings, blah, 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 that are not sexual at all, right? Because why would they be? If you're doing things with this person that you would not do with your female friends or your brother, then you are doing something that's probably wrong. Now, you could say, oh, my partner didn't say nothing about it. That's fair. If he didn't establish the boundary, then the boundary doesn't exist. Some dudes are into stuff like that. Yeah, do it. If it's right, and he says it's right, it's right. It don't matter what society thinks. If he says it's right, it's right. There's that out there. I'm not speaking for everybody in that sense. But if he is making it clear that this is a boundary for him, this dude is clearly on some other stuff, and he's doing things for you and with you that you wouldn't do with your brother or another female friend, it's over the line, and I need it to stop. And you do this ignorance thing. What? So now we're just gonna stop being regular, all my friends? Don't try to dumb out like you don't know what I'm talking about. Don't try to make it an extreme case where I'm telling you can't hang out with your family or your friends anymore. It's this dude, and you know what I'm talking about, and you know what he's doing. So I just feel like in situations like this, sometimes women will dumb out and exaggerate what's being asked of them in order to keep a friend who really is the next man up. Like, if my relationship goes south, he's the next man up. I know it, you know it, everybody knows it. This is the dude you're telling me not to worry about, okay? I don't like him being there, available or having access to you like he does. You know what I mean? You keep it in your mind that he could be next man up, but he's not going to be taking you out, bringing you stuff. No. And so I don't know. I think a lot of times women cause problems in their relationship by keeping this dude so close to them and dumbing out like she don't know what he doing.
Do it too. Men do it.
No, we don't.
Yes,
I don't think that's true. First of all, I can tell you for a fact, black men don't do it. I can tell you for a fact, black men don't do it.
Okay. Men do it. Black men do it too.
I don't know about that. Like, a girl that's close to me that I know her intentions, but I keep her close to me like that, I think men automatically assume that that's not going to fly. I don't know any men that is currently actively doing that. Because, I mean, if anything, men are going to try to hide it. I do know men that do that, who hide whoever this person is completely. Don't want any knowledge of this person at all. Men are more prone to do stuff like that than they would to openly have her next to them and then pretend, dumb out like they don't know what she's on. Men don't do. I don't know any man that does that. Have you seen that?
Yes.
And it was like clear to you that homegirl wanted him, but he just acted like he ain't know that?
Yes. And then you find out later that they already did the business and everything. And it's like, whoa.
But if they did the business, say they were together at some point, but then they decided to just be friends, but they actually were just friends, is that wrong?
I would say no, but I don't know.
That's my thing. Dudes, if that were the case for me, I'll say for me, if I was with a girl at some point in the distant past and we did not work out, but now we're friends, I don't think that I would be trying to revisit that. It depends on what happened, obviously. You know, maybe I was young and stupid when I was with her before and I mistreated her, so she left me. Then I got older and more mature and realized that, oh, she might have been something. But now I'm just waiting for her to want to give me another chance. That could happen. That scenario could happen. But I don't think that's very common. It's not a common thing to happen. It's possible, but so that's for you to dig into what exactly happened between them. You know what I mean? She said, "Ooh, don't let it be my person," and I find out. So, Sarah, that's a question for you then. If you found out that your partner had been with one of his female friends in the distant past, but they weren't together anymore and they never planned to be, is that a violation? Is he still allowed to be friends with her or no? That's a good question. But I don't know. The point of this segment is women do know men's intentions. These friends that y'all keep around, you know what they're doing. And so to dumb out, act like you don't know, how was I supposed to know that's what he was on? You are insulting my intelligence again. Now you're not just doing wrong by, in my face, allowing this dude to whatever, sitting here telling me you didn't know what he was on is insulting my intelligence. And now it's making me more angry. More angry than I should have been. She said, she better not be in my vicinity unless you both want to be in the hospital. And that's Sarah, ladies and gentlemen. That's how she behaves. Yeah, man. I mean, she's not having it. I think in this situation, it is important for partners to communicate their boundaries because unless y'all have a life commitment to one another, but then they should be together if they have a life commitment, all right? What's the name? My brother said, Christopher's here. He said, I think women should be able to do whatever they want to do because women are people too. That's one of them, like, male feminist answers. You know what I'm saying? I also believe. All right. So we know who he's voting for.
We'll keep him around.
Well, let's get on Daniels here, yo. Well, yeah, man. That's the thing. I just believe that the dumb out is what makes people angry, man. Dumb out was what made people angry. So my brother Chris was talking about, he said, send her $2,000 when she's sad. He said, send her $2,000 when she's sad. So what he's doing right now is we were talking the other day about these dudes on the internet that pander to women. That's how they make money. They make these videos about a real man would take care of kids even if he knew it wasn't his baby. DNA test said it ain't his baby, he'd take care of the kids. That's a real man. And if it ain't a real man, real man. The real man, the real man. I'm a real man. And like women eat that shit up. They share it, put it on their story. You look at it like. And so my brother right now is playing one of these characters in the chat, and it's hilarious to me, but just because I know what he's doing. That's true. Look at Sarah. Eating it up, all right? And so what they do is they say this stuff, and women eat it up, and then they start making T-shirts and selling them, and women buy them and just give them to their. It's a whole racket. And women don't see it. I will comment on his videos like, bro, that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. You just don't because you're not a real man. Like, okay. Okay. Yeah.
And take care of their kids.
Yeah, but if it's not your baby, you should keep. That's the only man that he ever knew. You're going to give up the kids? It's not my baby, bro. Anyway, here's a question. Boom. You live the current life that you live right now. I come into your life and make it so that You don't have to work unless you feel like it. Okay? You can work, but you don't have to work, right? And so say there, after I do that, I come into your life and make it this way, you start a business venture. Say you like to bake cakes. And so you start a home bakery where people got birthday parties or weddings, you make their cakes and you do it from the house. Well, you're really, really good at it because this is your passion. This thing starts to bubble a little bit. And now you got to hire a small staff, somebody to help you because you got too many orders. And this thing bubbles. I'm working my normal job and you're just at home doing your dream, right? And it just so happens you take off because you're passionate about it and you're good at it. You build a multi-million-dollar business, right? Just following your passion, you're really, really good at it, and you happen to be good at, business administration. Build a multi-million-dollar business. And we're married. In your mind, in your feelings, not in law, in your feelings is the thing that you built on your own that I did not help with because I was working, doing a regular job, is the thing that you built now ours.
Not fully ours. I'll give you a percentage. Because you.
This is that, fellas.
A percentage because you helped me get there. But it's not fully yours. No.
What? How? What's the name? Chantel, you think yes, it is ours? What do you think, Sarah? Chantel says yes. We're married, then yeah. What if you're not married? What if I just made it so you didn't have to work, but I'm just your boyfriend and you built it on your own because you're just at home? Is it ours? Church, can you explain that, please? How is it not ours? Because the only reason you had time to do this is because I was working and paying everything.
But you chose that. You told me that was your problem.
Oh my God, that's fun. I'm glad you're being honest, though. I'm glad you're being honest, but that is funny. We're together, then yes. So if we're together at all in any sense of the word, then it's ours. And Chantel says it because you contributed. So I feel like, that's easy to say when it's not a reality. So even if they're saying that, we'll see if it ever actually happens, how they feel then. When it's time to split it.
Different. Like if we were doing it together, then yes, it's ours together. Like if you stop your main job to help me with it, then yes, it's both of ours. But if you only contribute to help me get off the ground and get where I am, then yeah, you get a percentage.
But not 50%.
No, you didn't bust sweat and tears like I did.
That's tough stuff. That is tough stuff.
How do you feel?
Well, so that's what happens in America all the time to men. That is what happened. That is what happens. That's family law.
The woman just leaves the man when she's up.
Yeah. Now imagine the scenario is different in that I'm not working. I'm not helping you build anything, but I also want half of it. That's the reality for men. Right? This is not the case that the woman is working just as hard as the man or she's working so that he can follow his dream. It is the case that she's at home doing nothing. He's building something, and then she wants half of it when it's done. So if you think it's fucked up what I just said about your stuff, imagine that. That is our reality every day. And you got to consider now here we take it a step further. That is our reality all the time, and we know it. But y'all still want us to marry y'all, knowing that could turn into our reality. Why would we do that? What is it about you that makes you so great that I would do that? Do you see what I'm saying? Like, I think women have to understand the gravity of a decision like that and understand that what is it that makes you worth that? And for a lot of women, I promise you, I feel, if you just look around in the internet verse, right, social media, how many women do you think we would run across if we just scrolled that we could say she's probably worth it? No. I would venture to say I probably, after an hour of doing that, we probably come out with one hand, maybe, of women we could be like, oh, okay, probably her, for sure. And so that's the thing. I don't think women are fairly assessing themselves, especially when you consider what's on the line for men when you're talking about marrying you. Like, to be okay with you coming out with half what you didn't put in on it, why would he do that for you? Because you what?
Because
Are
I'm
cute? You know what I mean? Like that's the thing. Like because you're cute, because you got big titties. What are you saying? You know what I mean? Because you make him laugh sometimes. What are you saying that makes you worth that? I'm at a place now, financially where I've done everything I'm going to do in life. You know what I mean? Like there ain't no more climbing to the top of whatever. There's probably ain't a whole lot more school going on. I'm very close to a degree, so I'll probably finish that. But after that, I've done everything I'm going to do. And so now, for what I have built for myself, somebody wants me to potentially split that with them, and they did not help me build it. What in the world would make me want to do that for that person? And if you're, taking inventory of yourself, what is it about you that you think would make me want to say yes to you for that? And then when you see somebody getting proposed to, understand that man has made that assessment and decided she was worth it. So to me, watching a proposal is probably different from a woman watching a proposal where she says, oh, this is nice, this is pretty, it's great how he did it, the way he went about it. You don't understand what he just did in his mind. He's decided, even if I lose half of everything I build by myself, it's worth it for her. And even some of y'all know women, but you looking at her like, definitely not her. Definitely not her.
People don't get engaged to think, hey, we're going to get a divorce one day.
True. But as a man, when you're getting married, you've heard the horror stories. You can't hide from them. You can't hide from the horror stories of marriage in America. Bill Gates, Jeff Bezos' ex-wife has given away $1 billion of his money to charity. After she won it in the divorce, he just gave it away. And he had to watch her do it. She didn't do anything. She did not do anything to build Amazon for him.
She did. She listened to his stories, him crying, his happy moments. She had to cook for him. Clean.
$1 billion. You think that's worth $1 billion? Let me tell you it's not. Let me just...
The emotional roller coaster you guys put us through.
Think about Jeff Bezos, for my example. He decided that if this goes south, this goes wrong, it's still worth it for her. And it went wrong, and he paid the price. But he decided he was willing to take that risk for her. That is so huge. That is so huge. Even if he wasn't the Jeff Bezos at the time, he's probably ambitious at the time. He probably knew he was capable at the time. Even if it never happened, he was going to try. And he said, once I do what I intend to do, losing half of it to her is still worth it. That's love. It's love. So I just say, make a fair assessment of yourself, ladies. Okay, let me read some of these comments. Go back. She said, in the court of law, it's ours. That's what I was saying, Chantel, but we didn't want to count the court of law. We wanted to count the court of public opinion. Yes, the courts will say it's ours, but do you think it's ours? Do you agree? Sarah, because certain women will grow it more than what you could have alone. So certain women will help you in the sense of you did a thing and now they're making it better because they know how to do other stuff. So for example, what Sarah's talking about, there was a singer, famous singer back in the 50s. He could sing songs and he could write songs. He's pretty good at it. But his wife knew business, and his wife negotiated his contracts and did his engagements and all this other stuff to where he wasn't just a singer anymore. He was a mogul, and then sadly he died in a car accident. They both died in a car accident. But she was the battery behind his operation. So okay, in a situation like that, it is ours. But a lot of women aren't doing that.
Both of you guys worked together for it.
Yeah.
You said that I did it.
Yeah.
Help, but you didn't put your blood, sweat, and tears in it like I did.
No, all I did was make it so that you could concentrate on your dream because you weren't worried about day-to-day bills anymore.
Exactly. So
It's so funny that it's so funny that you're so yeah.
You do get a percentage. Some females won't even give you that.
Like Chantel said, in the court of law, I'm gonna get more than a percentage. But just in your opinion, the fact that you think that is just funny to me and it's only funny to me because it's clearly not like that on the inverse. On the inverse, you could do literally nothing, not even work, so that I can concentrate on my dream. You could do literally nothing and still get half, and everybody thinks that's right, yeah. But then you can turn around and tell me I get a percentage when I made it so you could even attempt to do this.
Well, I'll pay back for all the money you had to spend for me to sit at home and think.
Okay.
Right deal.
Chantel said, and if you didn't want to give half, sign a prenup. Yeah. He said that it has to cross your mind. That's true. And it's working together. That is correct. What's going on, Shanine? Shanine's in the house, y'all. Shanine is funny because talking to Shanine as an adult now, who is married with a child, is so funny. Obviously, I've been in Shanine's life since she was 7 years old. So in my mind's eye, I see her that way. And she's a full adult now. And so talking to her about life and stuff that's going on is so funny. She's got an adult attitude and opinion about stuff. And it's so funny to hear it. Like, no, sweetheart, that's not happening. What? Anyway, so this year, Shanine is hosting Thanksgiving. We're going to her family's house to do Thanksgiving. That's why I went to California. I went to Shanine's house. So just again, to have been in her life since she was 7 years old, and now we're going to her house because she's hosting Thanksgiving, makes me feel old. Oh, thanks.
You're welcome.
I was unsure, but now I'm sure. So I want to
now.
Thank you for your help on that.
No problem.
Okay. This is probably the last one for tonight. Okay. We're going to talk about how toxic people will use your religion against you, right? If you assume that the toxic person believes like you do, we'll call it Christianity for the sake of argument, because I know the most about that. If they believe in Christianity like you do, right, then you'll assume that they're a good person because their religion requires them to be a good person, right? They could be the most horrible person you've ever met with a religious mask on. So essentially, you keep forgiving me because your religion calls for you to do that, number one. And I keep saying that I want to be better according to my religion, right? Our religion. And so essentially, as a toxic person, I'm using it against you. You're supposed to forgive me. What happened to forgiveness and love? And love being unconditional. Love is all things. And love is patient. Love is kind. And I'm using your religion to be toxic to you. That is a thing, man. That is a thing.
No.
Or they'll not be religious during the relationship, but they'll know you are. They'll do a bunch of terrible, terrible things. You will get rid of them, and then they'll say, oh, I want to be good, and I want to be part of your religion, where I wasn't before. And now you're like, oh, I gotta take this on because my religion requires me to evangelize, bring people to the kingdom. And so that's his way in, when the reality is it's just a window that he can sneak into to further be toxic, right? It's a doorway in. But I think that's a lot more common than we give credit to, and we don't really talk about it. We don't really talk about people being toxic through religion. Or they will be the more religious person. Say you come into the relationship, you don't really know, you're supposed to be Christian because your parents told you to, right? That's as far into Christianity as you ever got. You didn't ever read the Bible, you don't know the scriptures. You just know you're supposed to be a Christian because your mom was and your dad was, and they said this is right. But he's super religious. He can quote you scriptures off the top of his head. He will use scriptures that don't exist. The Bible says, blah, 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 blah. And you're just like, probably. You can't say otherwise because you don't read the Bible. And so you follow him when he's quoting made up verses. You know what I mean? That happens a lot, man. That happens a lot. Sometimes the whole reason you're with him is because you found him attractive, but he also had this knowledge of the Bible that you always wanted to be more into. You just never had the time or made the effort. And now you see him as okay, if I'm with him, he's going to feed me and I'm going to be better. And he's the whole time using it to be toxic. God is a black woman is what my brother decided to put in the chat. And I just, I can't. Anyway, so I think that needs to be brought to light. So I wanted to make a segment about that, is that toxic people will use your religion against you to be toxic. Have you ever seen or experienced anything like that?
Yes.
What happened? How did they do it?
Well, like, yeah, let's go to church because they know I want to go to church. Then, yeah, we go to church. Everything's cool. But then you come home and it's like, you're bad mouthing the church. It's so bad. Da, da, da. I was like, okay.
What was all that for? Yeah. And then you'll find that they don't do nothing Christian-like. You know what I'm saying? They go to church, they know the scriptures, but the way they live is not at all Christian-like. Right?
Yeah.
But they find themselves religious because they know the scriptures and they go to church and they judge other people. That's the funnier thing too. It's like, where do you have the right? Oh, because I know scripture. That does not qualify you to judge other people. What's the name? Chantel said, I'll ask God for forgiveness, but find someone else, right? Like, find somebody else to do it. Yeah, man. Man, you just got to be aware that that's the thing. I think I experienced it in the sense that I felt, I've been doing a lot of research into the Bible and apologetics and reasons to believe and all that. So someone kind of latched on to me as their spiritual guide on top of being a partner. So I felt responsible for them. Like, I hadn't fully led them to the kingdom yet, so I can't really let them go, even though relationship-wise, they needed to be gone a long time ago. You know what I mean? What if I let them go and they never make it to the kingdom? I didn't finish. That's again, a lot of people, man, they'll use it. They'll use it, man. They'll use the idea. A lot of men want to be a hero. They'll use it against you, man, and keep it as a way in. So be aware that is a lot more common than we talk about. It's just to find someone else in the church to do it, yeah, to be your evangelist. You could, yeah, exactly. Tell them, find someone else to do it. Yeah, that is a thing. That is a thing. So, I know, be careful. Closing thoughts. Is there anything that you want to say about anything that we talked about here?
Yeah, next week have Chantel on.
You know what? It's so funny, man. There are people who are regulars, or we'll call them, right? We'll call them regulars to use a prostitution term.
Oh.
We are regulars who refuse to be on the actual show.
What?
Because they're shy, because they're self-conscious about the way they look, because they feel like this is that, blah, 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 blah. And it's this, so I think for a lot of people, I ask probably, once or twice. And once there's excuse after excuse, I'll just be like, all right, well, we'll see you in the chat. But Chantel says, no, it's my baby kids. Sure. Sure.
Then you can join.
Yeah, I just feel like there's ways to deal with that, but that's my opinion. Whatever. I'm not gonna force anybody to do anything. I feel like some people would be very good for the show. I think Chantel has a lot of strong opinions about stuff, and strong opinions on the opposite side is what we need, right? This is how we generate discussion. So she said they find me. I do. I think some interruptions by some kids would be funny and still be good for the show. So I don't really mind, but she said, Sarah says, I'll make myself available if you ask the day prior. All right. We'll put that to the test, bucko. So we can have 4 up to 4 people on at the same time. So, Church, obviously, you're always welcome back. Because I just think you're so great. But we can have 3 other people too. So yes. She said, but I want Devil's Advocate on the show. I think that isn't that who you're gonna be, Sarah? The Devil's Advocate? No? I thought that's the role you're playing. No? No. All right. I think she wants a dude to be Devil's Advocate. So either my brother or Isaac. They were otherwise detained this evening, so they could not be. But maybe I can get another dude to be on here. But maybe I can get another dude to be the reasonable person standard.
Hear you.
See what I did there? And now we. Okay, we're gonna close this one out, put this one in the canister, and I'm gonna make some reels and put those out. So you're about to be famous. You're about to be on our reels on the page. Good for you.
All right.
Right. Good night. Thank y'all, everybody.